Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. I hope I'm not boring you too much with Rich versus Royal on Dominator, but it is fascinating. These are some of the absolute best ways to learn I've found. If you can find a couple really top-end guys playing on the same map, games that are somewhat similar, you can see the evolution through it of their thinking on how to counter each other. I feel like it's really, really worthwhile. And you know what? After watching those 4 games, I was, there were things that I didn't like about the way that, for instance, Rich was playing in some of the earlier games. And then kind of game 4, I was like, oh, I haven't seen this approach. It seems like there's some merit to this approach. And I really love learning like that and figuring out some more truth about StarCraft. So, again, I hope that you guys aren't getting too bored of this little series. I mean, they've played so many games on Dominator over the course of 3 days. It's insane. Right now, this is the 5th game, and Rich has won the first 4. That's crazy. That's crazy. And he's altering his play a lot. It looks like he's going back to what he did in game 2, which would be forward gateway. 2 to 3 zealots will be made out of this before a Dragoon. The last time he did this, Royal happened to be going towards Command Center first. He's not doing that this game. We'll see if he gets the gas. And he will. There you go. So, yeah, this is going to be a much better opener against that. See how quickly he identifies what's going on. But yeah, we kind of have our early game setup here. Zealot pressure against a factory expansion. So I'm going to take this moment and say thank you guys so much for watching ArtosisCasts. Yeah, you're the best. Leave a comment, like the video, notifications, subscribe, all that stuff. You guys have been so good about that lately, and I do appreciate it. All the time. Every time I mention that, like, more than half people that watch are not subscribed, people look and they say, oh my God, how wasn't I subscribed? I had no idea I watch this every day. So it is appreciated if you do subscribe. Growing that number helps out quite a bit. And makes me feel good. And feel good about the future of Brood War, man. Yeah. So there you go. There you have it. Factory is coming up. It's it looks like that was, yeah, just normal time. And Rich, this is very funny because his placement of the gateway screamed fast zealots, and he made none. Which means that he's just making it as a part of the wall, this is not like a common thing to do it like this. Normally, if you put it up there, part of the reason is to rally the zealot more quickly. But you know what's funny is the SCV just got there, so he doesn't know if his zealot's on the way. Notice how he's just sitting here with the SCV. He's kind of watching. He thinks his zealot's about to come. And I think so too, almost, because it's like, well, that's when you put that there, it means zealot. Of course, nothing has to mean anything, especially if you're Protoss. Yeah, you can see how defensively he's playing. Isn't this hilarious? This is, to bring in my own personal experience. This is the type of game where you look at the replay afterwards and you're just confused the whole time. You're like, where's the zealot? Like, what's going on? Like, why is this here if you're not making a zealot? You just, like, lost minerals running the probe up and down a couple times. And the thing is, you scout something like that, and the dangerous thing is the zealot coming. And so we saw him kind of slow everything down. He made a 4th Marine, and he didn't make a 3rd depot, which means that the supply cap came more quickly. Which means that he's, like, misses an SCV because of that. So you get, like, a free SCV just by, messing with your build like this, like Rich has done. Because you have to respect what you scout. You can't just look at it and say, he's doing that for no reason. I'm just going to ignore it. And then a zealot comes with a Dragoon, and you lose your 3 Marines, and you die. Crazy stuff. StarCraft's so complicated. And also so simple in a way. Make more mans than your opponent's mans. Kill your opponent's mans with your mans without losing your mans. I forget. Someone used to say that. I thought it was pretty funny. I forget who, though. Okay. Rich is going back to his roots. 3-gate observer. This is Rich's most common play. Okay. Well, I was going to say, if a 2 fact comes out, oops, kill potential may emerge for Rich. Now, if this is a 2-factory where maybe you poke with a tank, maybe you don't. Maybe you just go quick speed and lay mines. Or maybe you play it a much more protracted game. Maybe you go for siege after mines and sit in your base a little bit more and just run around with vultures a bit. All of these are actually ways that it's played occasionally. But, like, let's say that we see... Well, this is actually pretty decent trading by Royal. Getting that mine hit is pretty big. Ooh, that was a quick second mine. That was really good, actually. Okay, clears all of those. You lost 1 goon and a lot of health on those 2. That's actually helpful for Royal in this particular circumstance. But that might make him pull the trigger on attacking as well. It looks like he wants to get a 3rd base. This is up here a little bit early. He might just go missile turret with it at some point. Or he might just make a 3rd base. Either way, when you go for a 2-factory opening, if your opponent happens to go 3-gate observer, if you're attacking with your tanks, oftentimes you can lose your tanks and then lose to a counterattack. Or not necessarily lose all your buildings and have to exit the game, but like take good damage from it and get into a position where you should lose. Don't know exactly what we're going to see here. Royal hasn't truly committed either way, but the fact that he's going up to 4 tanks right now, this looks to me like it'll turn into a 4-factory push. Kind of an old school way to play it. Like if you just showed me this replay, I'd look at this and be like, oh, is that Mihu? It kind of looks like Mihu's play. Kind of an older 4 to 5 fact build. Possibly. We don't know for sure yet. Some missile turrets going up. Few mines still out here as well. Rich, gonna just clear mines. He's just playing a safe and slow game. Few goons in here in case of dropship. Speed and +1 both on the way. Siege mode is, of course, as well. Really hard to say where Royal wants to go from here because he's still got this SCV up here as well. I think he might be waiting to see what Rich is doing exactly. It's hard for him to scout anything because he has no vultures right now. And he doesn't have the speed upgrade quite yet, but those are all on the way. Just siege is up. Yeah, he's not playing with too much information. Good amount of goons moving across the map. Reaver Tech as the follow-up. Kind of a late Reaver Tech, if I'm going to be honest. Might be hard to predict that one. If I'm playing this game right now as Royal, I might be thinking, I'm like, okay, the Reaver might be coming like very soon, or maybe it's an Arbiter build. Those would be kind of the ideas that might be going through my head. There's 3 more factories. Kind of hard to macro these. You're going to have to use hotkeys a little bit more than screens. Speed vultures coming out. Forward position. Pylon wall gets up in time, though. They're not going to be able to get in there. First shuttle is finally out, adding another gate as well. Academy coming up, okay. Yeah, nothing weird there. Good SCV count here from Royal. That is definitely one thing we can say. This is not like a 5-factory all-in. Well, I mean, it can turn into that, technically. But generally, those are in the 40s for workers. Up here in the mid-50s, this is the type of 5-factory that will very comfortably go into a 3rd base. Like, this is closer to meta from like a year ago. All right, siege tanks kind of being relocated to the main base. He's got pretty darn good coverage here. We don't see a lot of anti-air. He might, yeah, he starts some Goliath, so I think he recognizes that. But this is a good missile turret, really excellent mines, and enough siege tanks that you're pretty okay. Starts his 3rd command center at actually a very good time, but in a further away position. This is a pretty solid game. Like, they're both playing very solid and very carefully. I don't know, after playing each other this many times, maybe, you know, occasionally you play against someone enough and you're like, I think a cheesy play might come here. They might be getting bored of the games that we're playing. Maybe it's a little bit too monotonous. I almost feel like they've both taken that approach. Can't say 100%, you know, you can't be inside their mind, but I've seen stuff like that before. I've been through stuff like that before. Love that missile turret waiting. Reaver going to come forward. Oh, Jesus. This is really good for Rich. I can't believe Royal did that. I do that all the time. That's really cathartic. Okay, he gets rid of the Reaver, but, like, Rich is just overpowering. I'll show you exactly what was so terrible about what he did in a second. Because I think this game's about to end. I think you just GG here. You're so far behind, it's insane. Terrible position. Well, loses a few extra goons. Look at that. 40 supply down, 10 workers down. Rich should absolutely put down a Nexus. Put down a Nexus, make nothing but units. Put down another Nexus. As he sees that third base go up, of course, you want to go up to 5 Nexus. There's one. Look at where this is. That's funny. Because this is, like, theoretically pushable. Like, if you had map vision as Royal, you might decide to take this base so that you can heavily defend this area and push down and kill that. Of course, he doesn't know that that's there. Okay, I'll just talk about it now. Because it looks like we're in, like, a rebuild phase where, like, a lot of defending's going on. We're going to see Rich just kind of macroing up, adding gates, things like that. Psystorm on the way. So he had a very good army here. More than enough to kill everything that was out here. And he just moved it forward. He didn't expect Rich to be sitting here with a ton of goons. It's as simple as that. You send one Vulture, one SCV, anything at all, and you see that, you just leapfrog Siege Shanks, and you easily push out, and you easily take your third. But instead, he just took the army, assuming Protoss wasn't standing here, because there was no good reason for Rich to be standing there, other than maybe he'll walk into me. It's not like he's really doing much else. So he just assumed. I do that so often on Dominator that I've almost stopped doing it now, because I'm like, okay, I've lost so many games. Literally that looked exactly like that and then looked exactly like this. He's down 60 supply. 55 supply, whatever. It becomes so terrible from here. Okay, Science Facility is coming up. Dude, is Royal never going to beat Rich again? I mean, the game's not over. We can't say 100%, I guess. And Rich didn't go up to a 5th base yet. So that's actually, that in and of itself is a little bit promising. Because once Terran on 3 base against Protoss on 4 base is very playable. And if you take too long here as Rich, like, he should just make a Nexus. Because if you sit here and, like, you max out and you attack and, like, he holds it pretty well, like, oh, he might get his 4th time with your 5th. Anyways, here we go. Rich is attacking in with almost max supply. His shuttles do not do very much. The mines do a great job slowing everything out. See if the Zealots can maybe pull a mine. No, it doesn't look like they're going to. A few more Zealots are in the back here. Reaver gets targeted down. The Goon number is still pretty high. Ooh, that was a huge hit right there. But he's reducing that Siege Shank count down to nothing. Look at this. Kills this one. This one will die. He really should pull back, though. He gets him down to 3 tanks. And there's 3 add-ons. So it's like, your opponent is never really going to counterattack until much higher supply now. Rich really needs to take a 5th. There is no universe in which not taking a 5th is correct. Doesn't matter how far ahead you are. Like, look at this. He's got plenty of money. Just take the 5th base. He's got 11 gates going right now. Great macro. Oof. Not sure what that was. Might have been a dropship that got sniped and he barely got the tank out or something. That's what it looked like. Based on the position of that tank, I don't know how else it could get in there. But yeah, Rich. Okay, there's finally the 5th base. Again, he should have taken this before he even attacked. It would already be mining. Wouldn't have changed the attack at all. Lots of Zealots on the way. Second Robo coming up. Reavers with a terrible rally around the minerals. And let's see. Royal with another command center. Another Rax coming up. He's got 2-1 upgrades coming. I don't think he has a second armory. Yeah, doesn't look like it. He's pretty well defended the top side here. So that does beg the question as to whether he will be trying to expand in this direction, or will he actually try to expand in this direction? I've talked to death about TVP here, and about how in these spots, going this direction is very hard because then Protoss can just expand along the top. Going in this direction is a bit more natural for Terran as a process to victory. Because if you go in this direction, while Protoss expands the top, you have to push and control here. Whereas if you kind of go in this direction, you can play a denial game across the top, right? Maybe not deny this one, but maybe deny these 3. And behind that, you have a potential another base and maybe slip this up at some point. But we'll see. We'll see. He made the command center here, so I do think he's going to push in this direction, which I don't want to call it 100% wrong. And in fact, because this base is taken, maybe this is actually, you know what? I'm going to go with it. I think actually because this was taken, this might be a better plan. The one where you have to push this because you get this on the way. All right, here we go. Rich going to attack in. Lots of Zealots. There's not that many mines laid out. Royal supply is actually surprisingly good right now. But I think Rich just has too many Zealots up in the front. He is just clearing through absolutely everything. And that has to be game. It is literally pointless to go on from here. Royal will GG here in like 2 seconds. Like already it was kind of game. And in comes a Psystorm drop on the 3rd. Rich just bonking him. My God. Royal trying to utilize these positions well. He's down below 100 supply. He's down 50% in probes. So many gateways. 5, 8, 12, 13 gates. New base, 6th base coming up. Cannons being spread around, so it's going to be even harder to move around with vultures and get anything done. Is he seriously not leaving the game? Like, this game is super done. Super done. There is no way. Okay, you hear that mass scan. Sometimes you hear a mass scan right before someone leaves. Because you kind of just use up your scans to check the position to see if you even need to check the replay. It's kind of like a replay check pre-replay. Okay. This has to end it. He's up 80 supply right now. So... well, I mean, Royal is actually holding reasonably well with his 2-1. The D-Matrix making a huge difference right there. Gigantic, gigantic difference. More Zealots coming out. He's just trying to force Royal out of the game at this point. There's a Wraith being made. A Wraith is not going to do very much. These 2 tanks being a little bit heroic on the low ground. Floating his command center up for a 4th. Never a good sign. GG. All right, this has been pretty one-sided, guys. 5-0 for Rich. Surprising, I'd say. Thank you for watching. See you next time.